Hey Justin, how you doing? So, okay, I got your portfolio up, and I just want to start by mentioning that your work and your layout and your visual compositions, and you've got a lot of talent, and it's really apparent. So, for that reason, I recommend letting your work speak for itself. What do I mean by that, and why am I saying that when I'm looking at your opening page? As a hiring professional, I look at hundreds of portfolios each year. And if I were, and I work with a lot of hiring, I work with a lot of companies, and really, and I'm associated with with AIGA and the Student Portfolio Review Committee. And I'm saying this because I look at hundreds of portfolios a year, student portfolios. What I'm seeing here, and if I were in a meeting with some hiring professionals from a studio or an ad agency, and we were looking at this, I think the general consensus here would be that this particular designer is based on this first page here, a little more interested in presenting himself than he is about showing me what he can do for me. And I hope that makes sense. And I don't mean that as a dig, and I don't mean that to take the, that's just the reality of what this would be seen. The page, there's nothing wrong with it. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Your layout skills are very, very apparent in your work. So there's nothing wrong with the work. It's just saying, I think it's saying more, hey, look at me, than it is saying, hey, look what I can do for you. And typically that's done through minimalism. My recommendation is to establish yourself a logo, or a designer's logo, or a monogram, some sort of a mark, maybe a monogram JP with some minimal mark, or even I mean, I remember my student, and actually one of the logos I used long into my career was just my first letter of my name, M, it was a perfect circle around it, and then it was a little bit altered, but basically that was it, and it was my name next to it. So what I'm saying, I guess, is just consider a more minimal approach than this. Okay, so let's jump to the work. So in the work, you're just immediately showing this really good eye for design and layout. I think the typography is a little mundane, a little boring, as it were. I'm not really seeing the value of the rule at the top of the page. I think, well, first, it's jumping around a little bit. You don't want to do that. And that's consistent there, but watch, there it jumps a little bit. And I was going to mention your margin too. Watch your margins all around the page, because as we can see, your margins are really jumping. Oh, damn. Sorry. I just forgot about that page. That was another thing I want to say. It's really awesome. It's pretty good, but take a clip of it. Don't play the whole thing, and just condense it. Please do not present this like this. You have to put a stop button, or the ability for the viewer to start and stop. Because right now, I'm just trying, oh, darn, I'm like, what? So I'm just going to disable content. That's the best I can see. There's nothing here to show me other. Okay, so background pages are awesome. And hey, wait, I could probably go to, let's see, I could come here and go to, well, I was looking, where's my pages? Sometimes I'm not going to search around for it too much, but I was looking for my pages so we could look at this in pages. But at any rate, the design work, the way you shot the pieces, this is really super professionally done. In a in a student capacity. Nice production file. I wonder if you could place your graphics on there. I think that would be a really nice touch. Place your graphics right on your production file, showing your die lines and your cut and fold lines, etc. That would be really cool. Just for consistency, can you Photoshop a white background in here? I know it looks like you shot those on poster board, but it's easy to do. So maybe you can establish some consistency in the background just by, you know, putting a white background with those kind of shadows. It's really easy to, you know what you're doing. You know what? I don't think you need these faux printer's marks. I don't. I mean, when I see them in portfolios, I'm just like, yeah, okay, but it's not really a real thing because printers don't really use them, so they use their own. So it's, you know, I mean, I guess it's a way to show a production file, but I don't, you don't have to do that. I think it's much cleaner if you don't. So, which brings me to that's cool, good shot, and that was a good idea just to break the whole thing up by showing that background. And then, but I would go to another page or two of your regular composition because you don't want to end on that because then it looks like this is some sort of an ad or something. You know what I'm saying? So you want to end with your actual layout or you know, your composition work. Damn it. Whoops, sorry. Okay, so anyways, that's all I want to say is really watch those margins and the typography. I know you can do better than this. I know you can. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just really, it's not saying, hey, I'm a darn good designer. Like this is all saying. So do it. You know, let's do really think about this and how can you tell an employer that you understand how to compose a small headline with a small piece of text in a compelling typographic and visual way. Okay, that's all I have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a holler. All right. Thanks, Justin.